Today, we're going to talk about how to get rid of a cough within 5 minutes or less. You have a mucus cough, and then you have a non-mucus cough, which is called a dry cough. The remedy that I'm going to talk about will work on both, but there's nothing worse than having this dry cough while you're trying to sleep. Here's my problem with most remedies for coughs. They are going to give you a medication that suppresses the cough. If we think about what the reason why you're coughing in the first place is, your body is coughing as a vital defense mechanism because there's some type of particle, or it could be a virus or some type of irritant that your body wants resolved. The perfect remedy for a cough has to align with the actual cause of that cough. Coughing can come from a post-nasal drip. You have this sinus infection that's causing this irritation down in your throat. This can relate to an allergy, a cold, a virus, a fungal infection. This dry cough can also relate to a side effect from certain medications. You're going to have to do something to find some alternative to really get rid of your coughing. You can also have GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, where this coughing is coming from acid that is coming up through this valve on the top of your stomach, coming all the way up through here. And if you suspect that being a cause, I'm going to put a link down below of how to fix this problem. And the solution is not to take another antacid. It's just that the valve is not closing, and then this acid is regurgitating up. So to fix the valve, there's several ways to do that. Another cause of coughing is asthma. So many young children develop asthma when they're younger because their mother did not have enough vitamin D. Apparently, vitamin D deficiency early on sets you up for asthma down the road because you need vitamin D to help form the lungs correctly. Realize anyone with an asthma problem needs a lot of vitamin D to put that into remission. People that get asthma usually get it more in the winter. I wonder why? Because we get less vitamin D. There's also something called croup, which you see in young children, which is kind of like a barking cough. It's very, very different. And the remedy for that is also vitamin D. Another cause could be there's just not enough humidity in the air. When the humidity gets below 30%, which means the moisture in the air is very sparse, then what happens is that we get a dehydration or a drying out of our throat and our sinuses. This can irritate the vocal cords and you can start coughing. This also could be compounded with the fact that your vents are dirty, maybe they have mold in it, and you're getting all this dry, hot air coming in that's irritating your throat. And the solution for that is to get a humidifier to actually moisten the air in your room, especially when you go to sleep. Another common cause of this dry cough is a spasm in your larynx. It's called laryngospasm. If you look this up, one of the causes is low calcium in the blood, called hypocalcemia. Calcium is needed to help facilitate the nerve communication in the throat. And if you don't have enough calcium, then we don't get the signaling. Then we get a misfire into the cough reflex because there's all nerve endings in that area. Why would you have low calcium in the blood? Well, there's one vitamin that's very commonly missing in most people, and that's called vitamin D3. And one of the big purposes of vitamin D3 is to increase the amount of calcium in the blood. And if you're low in vitamin D, you're not going to have enough calcium. And then that's going to affect your vocal cords and then cause this cough. In practice, I used to give people calcium. I think a better remedy would be to give them more vitamin D3. At least 20,000 I use every single day. That will automatically increase the calcium and help the throat. You have to make sure when you take vitamin D3, always take it with magnesium. I always recommend also taking with vitamin K2. There's other things that can cause this chronic coughing. It could be perfumes, smoke. It can be having some new furniture that you bought that's giving off some chemicals in your environment. There's even certain types of tic disorders, as in Tourette's syndrome, that can also affect this coughing. Now let's talk about the best, most potent remedy for this dry cough. Now, I've done other videos on this topic, and I talk about consuming honey, ginger tea, thyme, oregano. All of those are great. And even gargling with salt water is really good. But there's something else a lot better. This is going to be put in a nebulizer. That is something that turns a liquid into a fine mist, like a vapor, because you're going to breathe it in and it's going to go into your lungs. It's going to go through the throat and it's going to calm everything down very quickly. It's very potent. It's very effective, and you can use it for both a cough related to mucus and a dry cough. The first remedy is called NAC, N-acetylcysteine. This is a very potent antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. It's really good to break up mucus in the lungs, your natural detoxifier in your liver. It's been also used to treat COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. You're going to get it in a powder, and you're going to take 1/4 of a teaspoon, and you're going to dissolve it in 4 ounces of water. You're just going to keep mixing until it completely dissolves. It wouldn't hurt to have warm water, because when it's warmer, it's going to dissolve a little bit better. Once the NAC dissolves, you're going to add one more thing, magnesium, in the form of Epsom salts. We're getting NAC and we're getting magnesium. What is so powerful about magnesium? Magnesium is needed for vitamin D to work. Vitamin D will not work unless you have magnesium. Not only that, magnesium also controls calcium. It controls where calcium goes. After the NAC is dissolved into that 4 ounces of water, and you're going to put it into that liquid that you already dissolved the NAC, and you're going to dissolve it into that fluid as well in a nebulizer, which you're going to then breathe in for 5 minutes, 1 or 2 times per day. This combination is going to work way better than any of those other combinations I've had in the other videos. There are a lot of different things you can do that will work, but this is the most powerful. But just as a side note, black seed oil will work as well. White horehound. And at the same time you're doing that, you're taking 20,000 IUs of vitamin D3 with vitamin K2 with magnesium. Sometimes it also comes with zinc. That would be also really good. That is ultimately going to correct this problem. But this other combination is a quick fix, and it's going to really help you get rid of this fast so you can sleep through the night and you can stop coughing. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.